Today, it has been announced that Paige Bueckers' signature shoe will be dropped this week, and we can finally see what it looks like. Nike's decision has sparked outrage, leaving fans questioning their priorities. Paige Bueckers is arguably the best player in college basketball right now. She's had a great start to the season, and at 23 years old, she's dominating against younger players. While Bueckers becomes the first college athlete with a Nike sneaker, Caitlin Clark, arguably the most electrifying player in the NCAA, has been left out. Clark hasn't had a shoe deal. In fact, she's had nothing except a Rookie of the Year title. How did Nike fumble their biggest draw? Is this a strategic misstep or a glaring oversight? This is the story of how Nike's move is dividing fans and sparking controversy in women's basketball. Nike's decision to launch a signature shoe for Bueckers while sidelining Clark has sent shockwaves through the sports world. What initially seemed like a milestone for women's basketball has turned into a public relations nightmare for Nike. Fans, analysts, and casual observers alike are questioning their priorities and decision-making. This isn't just about the shoe, it's about the perception of disrespect toward Caitlin Clark, a player who has consistently proven herself as the face of NCAA basketball. Nike signed Bueckers in 2023 and immediately gave her a signature shoe, while Clark, signed in 2022, has received nothing. Fans are furious. Social media is flooded with outrage, with many calling for a boycott of Nike products. How do you ignore Caitlin Clark, the best player in college basketball? One fan asked. Another wrote, Nike just doesn't get it. They've disrespected Caitlin Clark, and we're not buying their products anymore. Some fans have gone so far as to post videos of themselves discarding Nike apparel or pledging to switch to rival brands like Adidas or Under Armour. The backlash is growing louder by the day. The irony is that Caitlin Clark's greatness doesn't need validation from brands. At just 22, Clark is a household name in college basketball and beyond. Her record-breaking performances, leadership, and ability to draw massive crowds make her a superstar. Clark's highlights frequently go viral, captivating basketball fans worldwide. Her presence on the court is magnetic, turning even casual viewers into fans. Her games often draw higher viewership than men's college basketball games. Brands should be approaching her, yet Nike's relationship with Clark feels one-sided. Fans argue that Clark's cultural and athletic impact surpasses that of any other NCAA athlete, including Bueckers. While Bueckers is talented with her own following, Clark's ability to dominate games and elevate the sport is unmatched. Yet, Nike has chosen to overlook her, a move many see as short-sighted. This isn't the first time Nike has faced criticism for its handling of women's basketball. Over the years, they've been accused of underpromoting female athletes and prioritizing male athletes in their campaigns. Even within women's sports, Nike has been called out for playing favorites and sidelining top talents. Clark's case feels particularly egregious given her marketability and influence. By failing to launch a signature shoe or major campaign for her, Nike has missed a significant business opportunity. A Clark signature shoe could have been a cultural moment, but Nike focused on Bueckers instead, leaving many to question their judgment. Fans' frustration is evident. Social media is flooded with criticism, and videos of fans burning Nike merchandise are going viral. This boycott isn't just about Clark, it's about representation and fairness in sports marketing. Analysts predict that Nike's backlash could impact sales and open the door for competitors like Adidas and Under Armour to step in. These brands have been making strides in women's sports and could capitalize on the situation by signing Clark. While Nike deals with the fallout, Clark continues to shine. Her talent and influence ensure her star power will only grow. If Nike doesn't step up, other brands are ready to take their place. Clark's marketability makes her a valuable asset, and any brand aligning with her would elevate its standing. Clark doesn't need Nike to validate her greatness. Her talent speaks for itself. Fans are now speculating, will she stay with Nike or explore other opportunities? Regardless of her decision, Clark's future is bright, and her influence on basketball will continue to grow. This controversy highlights Nike's disconnect with its audience, particularly in women's basketball. Fans are demanding change, and whether Nike listens remains to be seen. One thing is certain, the world of women's basketball is watching closely. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, then subscribe to the channel. Nike's decision to prioritize Paige Bueckers over Caitlin Clark in launching a signature shoe has sparked controversy that isn't dying down anytime soon. What started as a celebration of Bueckers' achievements has turned into a PR disaster for Nike. Fans, analysts, and even casual observers have criticized the brand, accusing it of neglecting one of the biggest stars in NCAA basketball. As the backlash grows, So does the conversation about what this means for Caitlin Clark, Nike, and women's basketball as a whole. Caitlin Clark's greatness is undeniable. Her performances on the court are nothing short of historic. Averaging over 27 points per game last season, Clark is redefining what it means to dominate in college basketball. She's not just a scorer. She's a leader, a playmaker, and a game changer. Her ability to pull up from anywhere on the court and drain deep threes has earned her comparisons to NBA legends like Steph Curry. But Clark isn't just about individual brilliance. She elevates her teammates and brings a level of excitement to every game she plays. Clark's popularity isn't limited to die-hard basketball fans. She's a cultural phenomenon whose highlights go viral regularly, drawing millions of views across social media platforms. Her ability to attract attention and bring people into the sport is unparalleled. Yet despite all this, Nike has failed to capitalize on her star power. For many, Clark doesn't need Nike's validation. Her talent and charisma speak for themselves. She's already signed to Nike, but their apparent reluctance to fully embrace her as a marketable superstar feels like a massive oversight. Fans argue that Caitlin Clark could easily walk away from Nike and sign with a competitor, and it wouldn't hurt her image in the slightest. In fact, it might even enhance it. The outrage over Nike's decision isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about a perceived lack of respect for women's basketball as a whole. Fans feel that Nike's decision to prioritize Paige Bueckers over Clark is symptomatic of a larger issue, the undervaluing of female athletes. Social media has become a battleground, with fans voicing their frustrations and calling for action. And the sentiment is clear. Fans are angry. Many have taken to Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram to share their dissatisfaction, with some going as far as burning or discarding Nike gear in protest. Why should we support a brand that doesn't support our favorite players? One fan asked on Twitter. Videos of fans cutting up Nike logos or switching to rival brands have gone viral, amplifying the backlash. This isn't just about words. Fans are putting their money where their mouth is. Reports of canceled Nike orders and a decline in women's basketball merchandise sales are emerging, signaling that this boycott is having a tangible impact. Fans are urging each other to support brands that genuinely prioritize women's sports, like Adidas and Under Armour, both of which have been making significant strides in this area. This controversy is far from an isolated incident. Nike has faced criticism for years over its handling of women's sports. While the brand has made some progress in recent years, many argue that it still falls short when it comes to promoting female athletes. Take, for example, the case of Allyson Felix, one of the most decorated track and field athletes in history. Felix publicly criticized Nike for its lack of support during her pregnancy, exposing the brand's failure to accommodate female athletes' needs. The backlash from that incident led to some policy changes, but for many, it highlighted a systemic issue within Nike's approach to women's sports. Caitlin Clark's situation feels like another chapter in this ongoing story. Fans argue that Nike's decision to prioritize Paige Bueckers over Clark is just the latest example of the brand failing to fully support its female athletes. While Bueckers' achievements are deserving of recognition, the decision to leave Clark out has been widely interpreted as a snub. From a business perspective, Nike's decision to overlook Caitlin Clark is baffling. Clark is arguably the most marketable athlete in college basketball today, and a signature shoe bearing her name would almost certainly be a massive success. Her ability to draw attention, both on and off the court, makes her a dream candidate for a high-profile marketing campaign. Clark's games consistently attract huge audiences, often surpassing viewership numbers for men's college basketball games. Her viral highlights generate millions of views, and her personality resonates with fans of all ages. In an era where social media influence is a key driver of consumer behavior, Clark is a goldmine waiting to be tapped. A Caitlin Clark signature shoe could have been a cultural moment, something that transcended basketball and captured the imagination of fans worldwide. Instead, Nike chose to focus on Paige Bueckers, a decision that has left many scratching their heads. Analysts have pointed out that this could open the door for competitors like Adidas or Under Armour to swoop in and capitalize on Nike's misstep. For Nike, the opportunity cost of not fully embracing Clark could be enormous. While Nike scrambles to contain the fallout, its competitors are watching closely. Brands like Adidas and Under Armour have been making significant strides in women's sports, and Caitlin Clark could be the perfect addition to their rosters. Signing Clark would not only elevate these brands, but also send a message that they value women's basketball in a way that Nike seemingly does not. Adidas, in particular, has been aggressive in its pursuit of top female athletes. The brand's commitment to women's sports is evident in its marketing campaigns and product launches, which often feature a diverse lineup of athletes. If Nike doesn't act quickly, Adidas could step in and offer Clark a deal that's too good to refuse. Under Armour, known for its innovative marketing strategies, could also be a strong contender. The brand has been working to build its presence in basketball, and signing a player like Caitlin Clark would be a game changer. For Clark, aligning with a brand that fully supports her could be a win-win situation. This controversy has brought renewed attention to the challenges faced by women's basketball players. Despite their talent and marketability, female athletes often have to fight for the recognition and opportunities that their male counterparts receive as a matter of course. Fans are demanding better, not just for Caitlin Clark, but for all women in sports. The silver lining is that this controversy has sparked important conversations about representation, marketing, and respect in women's sports. Fans, analysts, and even brands are starting to pay closer attention to these issues, and that could lead to meaningful change in the future. If nothing else, the backlash has shown that fans are willing to hold brands accountable, and that's a powerful message. No matter what happens next, Caitlin Clark's legacy is secure. She's already one of the most influential athletes in NCAA history, and her impact on the game will be felt for years to come. Whether she stays with Nike or moves to a competitor, Clark's star will continue to rise. For Nike, the clock is ticking. They can either recognize Clark's value and work to repair their relationship with her, or they can risk losing one of the brightest stars in basketball to a rival brand. The choice seems obvious, but given Nike's track record, fans aren't holding their breath. In the end, this controversy is a reminder of the power of fans and the importance of respect in sports. Caitlin Clark doesn't need a signature shoe to prove her greatness. Her talent speaks for itself. But for Nike, this situation is a wake-up call. If they don't start prioritizing the athletes who make the game great, they may find themselves left behind. Thanks you subscribe the channel.